So one of the things that people ask a question about sometimes is, you know, how much herbicide, how much pesticide do I need to apply to my lawn to control a particular kind of a pest? Well, and that's a question that's not necessarily one that we as the Extension Office can answer. That question is answered by the label of the product that the individual has in mind of using. So what we'd like to do today is maybe just give an example or show folks how they can accurately apply an herbicide or pesticide, such as an herbicide, a weed control product, to their home lawn. In order for those products to work correctly, you know, certain things have to happen. It has to be the product has to be applied to a pest that's susceptible to that product, otherwise it won't control it. And it also has to be applied at the right time, the right stage of growth of that particular weed pest. And it also, the right dose, the right amount has to be applied per unit of area. And so in order to do that, an individual has to know what the output of their piece of application equipment is. Backpack sprayers are very handy sprayers. They're good sprayers for use on the small to medium-sized areas because they allow the applicator to keep a constant pressure by pumping with one hand and spraying with the other hand as they move across the lawn, and they can be very uniform in their application with that. But in order to know to get the correct dose out there, they've got to be able to know what the output of that sprayer is. So in order to do that, they have to calibrate the sprayer. Now, folks will often ask, how much of an herbicide do I mix in a gallon of water? Well, so often the answer is, it's not how much you mix in a gallon of water, it's how much is applied per unit of area. So we're going to use this one here as an example, this particular herbicide product. We pull the label open and we look at it, and let's just assume that we have a home lawn. It consists of cool season grasses. So we look on the label and it tells us that the rate for this product is 2.75 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet. So we don't need to know how much to mix per gallon. We need to know how much area our sprayer covers, how much water it puts out on a 1,000 square foot basis, so we'll have some idea of how much herbicide to mix up in that. So that's what we're going to do, I think, today, is to just demonstrate how to calibrate that sprayer and know what the output is over a 1,000 square foot area. So we're going to go through this little exercise on calibrating this backpack sprayer. Just a few precautions to keep in mind, or directions. Well, number one is always use clean water when you're doing this. You just need to use clean water to calibrate the sprayer. I like to use a piece of pavement simply because I can see really where I've been, the wet spray pattern. It lets me know that I've done a good job of covering the area. Now what I've done here is measured off 1,000 square feet. This little strip is 50 feet long and 20 feet wide, so that's 1,000 square feet. As you're walking, you want to maintain a consistent walking speed. You don't have to get in a big hurry. It's not a race. Just walk at whatever's comfortable for you. And you're going to time yourself, or get someone to time you as you go across and spray this 1,000 square foot test area one or more times, so you can get a good average time to see how long it takes you to spray that area with this particular backpack sprayer. And you're going to keep a constant pressure as you go through the process. And stop. So we timed how long it took to cover the 1,000 square feet, and it was 2 minutes and 23 seconds. So what we're going to do now is going to collect the discharge from the sprayer into this container for 2 minutes and 23 seconds. And that way we'll know what the output of the sprayer was at that walking speed over a 1,000 square foot area. You can use any sort of container that's large enough to collect what the output is going to be, and then use something to measure it with after the fact. Now this container has a graduated pitcher, so it has the measuring scale on there. For home use, you know, any kind of a measuring cup will work, but make sure that you use it just for something like that. You don't come back and use it for any sort of a food use after you have or measured the output of your sprayer with that. So be very, very cognizant of that and be careful about that. So we're going to go ahead now and start catching this for 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Okay, so now we've caught the output for 2 minutes and 23 seconds, which is the time it took us to cover the 1,000 square foot spray test area. So now let's see how much output we actually caught, how much this sprayer put out over 1,000 square feet. So, after catching the output for 2 minutes and 23 seconds, and we look at the measured, the scale here, the measuring scale on our pitcher that we collected it in, we can see that sprayer output was 82 ounces, a little over a half gallon for 2 minutes and 23 seconds. So now we know what the sprayer output is walking at that speed over 1,000 square feet. So now we can take that information and use that to mix up the correct mixture of herbicide so we get the correct dose rate out there when we apply it to a given yard area. Okay, so you remember those teachers in school always told you that someday this will come in handy. Well, they were sure telling the truth when it came down to math. So now at this point in this exercise, we're going to do a little bit of math. So we determined that the sprayer output walking at that speed over 1,000 square feet was roughly 82 ounces. So let's just, for the sake of example, say that you've got a front lawn area that you're going to treat with an herbicide to control weeds in that lawn. And it's a 3,000 square foot lawn, 3,000 square foot front lawn. With this particular herbicide product that we're looking at using here, the application rate, according to the label, is 2.75 ounces per 1,000 square feet. So if you've got 3,000 square feet, 3 times 2.75 gives us the total quantity needed to treat that 3,000 square foot lawn of 8.25 or 8 1/4 ounces. So we know we're going to use 8 1/4 ounces. How much water is it going to take? Well, we've got 3,000 square feet, and if the output of the sprayer is 82 ounces per 1,000, okay, 3 times 82 gives us 246 ounces. If there's 128 ounces in a gallon, that means that 246 ounces is equivalent to about 1.9 gallons. So you take a mixing device, a mixing container that you're going to use to mix herbicides and water with, you put in your 8.25, 8 1/4 ounces of the herbicide, and then fill it with the remainder of water till you're at 1.9 gallons. You put that in your sprayer, you mix it up good, and go out and spray that 3,000 square foot lawn. Now, after you've done that, you can rest assured and be certain that you have applied the correct dose of that particular herbicide over the correct size unit of area, and thus you should probably give yourself the best chance of that product controlling the weeds as good as it could do, because you put the right dose out at the right rate. You know, again, math is not always the most fun thing to be concerned about, and sometimes it's easy to forget things. So if you have a question regarding correct pesticide application to your home lawn or fertilizer application and calculating the rates and the doses and how to do that, again, give us a call at the Extension Service office at 898-7710, or come by and see us in person here at 315 John Rice Boulevard.
For more information on the programs and services offered by the Ag Extension Office, visit their website or follow them on social media.